welcome to the Saturday Night Swirl with your host, Roadrunner89. Hope you enjoy. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Happy Saturday night. Hope everybody is doing well. Um, Tonight, I'm going to be covering a subject, and this is something I made a video on this long ago, talking about plus size black women interracially dating. And I've had people ask me to talk about this subject. Uh, and people want to know my opinion on plus size women interracially dating, right? And marriage. Okay. And I'm going to talk about it tonight. I'm going to give you my opinion. Okay. And I'm going to show you some videos. And let me say this before I begin. Okay. People have their preferences, right? And there's a misconception out there that for some reason people think plus size black women can't interracially date or interracially marry. They do it all the time, okay? And when we talk about plus size, okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with being plus size, okay? And everybody has their preference, okay? There are some people that want to date women that are skinny, that have curves. Some people are into plus size women, okay? That's their preference, okay? But a lot of times women get shamed for being plus size. Okay. And we all get shamed for certain things we have about us that people find not attractive, right? And I've noticed when they go on live and I do my videos and I have my haters, and people will, for some reason, it's kind of weird, will analyze me and look for faults that I have. The, how I look, or something's out of place, or people a lot of times attack me on my teeth because I got a gap in my teeth. Oh my God, what will I do? You know, um, there's always something that people find fault in each other. Okay, and people will find something about you they don't like, and that's fine. Okay, um, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and what one man will find attractive, another man might not, and it goes the same way with women, right? Okay, and when we talk about women and their body shapes, women have different body shapes, right? Some women have a bigger bone structure, some smaller. Some women are very skinny, some are very curvy, and some are plus size, and some are really skinny. Um, you know, but there's a misconception that there's a number of black women that think because they're plus size, they can't interracially date or they can't get interracially married. And that is not true. Okay. I've seen dozens of people that are plus size get in interracial relationships, whether it's men or women. Okay. And, and my thing is for me, when I was younger, okay, if I could date a plus size woman, as long as we connected, and had a connection and we were into each other. Uh, I never really, it never really bothered me if a woman was skinny or, curvy or had, maybe was a little bit chubby, right? That didn't bother me as long as we had a connection. And a lot of men feel that way. And believe it or not, us as men, um, one of the most important things we have is the connection. Being with someone that we love, that loves us back, that we have, a, a relationship that can grow, that we can be together, that it can be something that can be a beautiful blessing. Okay. And believe it or not, us as men, it's not all about the physical. It's not all about a certain body type. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, there are men that like skinny women. There are men that like very curvy women. There are some men that like plus size. Okay. Um, and I have no problem with women that are skinny, curvy, plus size. Okay. And I'm going to show you some videos. Okay. And, I'm going to show you and I'm going to talk to you about and give you my thoughts on that. Okay. And this live tonight is going to be kind of short. Okay. Um, and anyway, let me show you some of these videos and tell me what you think. Okay. And the first video I'm going to show you is a video of a plus size black woman, and she's very beautiful. And she made a video, and I showed this before, and she says that she would love to date interracially, but she don't think that men she don't think that white men are interested. Okay. Um, and there are white men that are interested in plus size women. There are men that is their preference. Okay. For me, it wouldn't, when it comes to plus size, for me, when I was dating when I was younger, if I had a connection, she could be plus size. Okay. As long as we could do things together, have activities together, have a relationship where we could do different things. Okay. I'm not into the body shaming. You know, and what's crazy is it just seems that a lot of people that are critical are the ones that got a lot of flaws themselves. Okay. But, and I'm trying to, okay. Anyway, let me show you this video and I'll give you my opinion. Okay. This is a beautiful video. Okay. Okay. Why is there no sound? Okay. I don't know why there's no sound. Okay. There's sound on that one. Okay, I'm going to have to reload this one for some reason. Okay, let me see. Okay. I think it's the last one. Okay. Hold on, guys. Bear with me. I'm trying to find that video. For some reason.
This is for all my plus size sisters.
Okay, it's not that one.
A white man, and I want to.
Okay, there it is. Okay, sorry, guys. Okay. Let me show you this video real quick. Okay, and tell me what you think.
I've never dated a white man, and I want to. I think the reason why I have never dated a white man is because I'm thick. Just listen to me. Think about every black woman that you know that is dating a white man. What does she look like? She's skinny, isn't she? Yes, she is. She's skinny.
Okay, you see that young lady right there? Now look at her. She says that she would love to interracially date, but she believes that white men that date interracially are with skinny black women. Okay? Now, that is a misconception. People think that's what we are into as white men. They got to be skinny, and no. For some men, yeah, that's their preference. But this young lady, and I would say to the white men, what do you think about this young lady? Is she attractive? I think she's very beautiful. I don't see nothing wrong with this young lady. I don't. Okay? She don't look like she's unhealthy. She looks like, okay, she's curvy. Many black women are curvy, and that's a beautiful thing. And they would label her as plus size, right? Okay. I love plus size. Plus size is good. Okay, and let me show you this video again, and look at what she's saying, guys. I want you to look at her eyes and what she's saying. Okay, and look, a lot of people make videos on YouTube. Okay, and do they really mean what they're saying or not? I think this young lady is genuine. Okay. And you look in her eyes, and if I was a young man and not married, say I was her age, right? I'd be very interested. Okay. She's a beautiful young lady. Okay, she's curvy. That's beautiful. I like that. A lot of men like that. Okay. Um, Not all white men like super skinny women. Okay. Some people think that's what we're into, but it ain't true. Some are, but a lot of us aren't. Okay. We understand, those of us that date and marry black women, that black women are curvy. Okay. And there's a number of black women that are plus size, and that's okay. I'm going to show you some videos of some very beautiful plus size women. Okay. And, and let me tell you. All right. But anyway, let's play our video again and listen. Look in their eyes. Okay. When I watch this, and I'm not just listening and I'm looking at her body language, I'm looking at what she's saying, looking in her eyes, it seems like she's very genuine, that she wants to open up her options. Okay. But she thinks that white men are into skinny women and she's curvy. Okay. But looking at her, she's very attractive. There's nothing wrong with her at all. You know, her body shape, she don't look like she's unhealthy at all. That's just her frame and her body shape. Okay. It's genetic. But anyway, let's play this. Listen closely.
I've never dated a white man, and I want to. I think the reason why I have never dated a white man is because I'm thick. Just listen to me. Think about every black woman that you know that is dating a white man. What does she look like? She's skinny, isn't she? Yes, she is. She's skinny.
Okay. What I get from this body language is she's interested in opening up her options, right? And you look in her eyes, there's some emotion there. Even though she don't overly express her emotions, you might say she's not really showing emotion. But if you look in her eyes, her body language, you can tell that she would like to do this, but she's unsure if white men are interested because she's curvy. She's not skinny. Okay. A lot of people label her as plus size. Okay. I just think she's curvy, beautiful woman. I don't get it. I mean, this woman could date any group of men of any race. She wouldn't have no problem dating anybody. But there is that misconception that us white men only want skinny, super skinny women. And that ain't true. Some white men are into curvy women. Some white men are into skinny women. Some white men are into preferences can go 1,000 different ways. Okay. But this young lady, I don't think she'd have a problem dating anybody. If she wants to open up her options, it's wide open from what I see. And white men, would you, if you were single and would you date this woman if she was interested? Would you take her out on a date? I mean, I look at her and I'm like, wow, if I was a single man, I'd be all into you. Okay. But a woman like this that, you know, is curvy, which is beautiful. I don't. But there are women like her that think they don't have a chance opening up their options. They don't think a man is going to be interested in her because of what they see on social media, because of and social media isn't reality. I mean, some men are into curvy women, plus size women, skinny women. It's a preference. But I see nothing wrong with this young lady. If you want to open up your options, hey, you got all the power. And I would just say, why is this woman even thinking that? I don't know. But what do you think? I mean, she's very attractive. I don't even know why would even think that. But anyway, let me show this other video. Okay. And I don't even think she's plus size. I think she just has a curvy body. Okay. But let me show you some attractive plus size women. And guys, would you date a plus size woman? Okay. Would you be okay with a plus size woman that you connect with? You know, that you could have a relationship with. You connect together. You like spending time with together. You have some love. Okay. Look at this woman. This is a plus size woman, right? And I would say to plus size women, okay, there are men that like that. There are some that want skinny women, okay, but I've seen tons of plus size women interracially dating. You being plus size is not going to stop you, okay? But would you be okay with a plus size man? You know what I'm saying? But look at this young lady here. She's plus size, okay, but very beautiful. Look how she dresses. Look at, the style of clothes she wears. Okay, let me show you guys this.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easily pretty. The only reason that I can do tonight is 'cause I know you were invited. The only reason that this dress is skin tight is 'cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only come for the sake of our size. Because I want you to like it. The only reason I can do tonight is because I really like you. And I can never hide it. Want to remember your mind then.
Okay, let me stop right there. Okay? And guys, would you date a woman like that if she loved you and she was into you and you had a good relationship? Okay, and here's my thing with plus size. Okay, and I'm going to be honest. Okay, I'm okay with. I never had a problem dating a plus size woman. Okay, as long as we had a connection. Okay. And as long as she was healthy enough that we could do things together. We can go on a hike. We could go fishing. We can do, and I like doing outdoor type stuff, right? I like to fish. I like to hunt. I really don't take my wife hunting. That's a guy thing. But, I like to go and do things. I like to be a little bit active, okay? And a woman like this, she can do those things and you can have fun. And the biggest thing is it's not so much about the plus size as health. Okay. And this is what, we got to focus on. Okay. There are a lot of very beautiful women that are plus size. Okay. And I never had a thing where I would cut a woman off because she's plus size. If she was into me and I'm into her, and we could do things together, it's good. It's all good. I'm not into fat shaming or body shaming. If I'm in a relationship and like me and my wife, I would say me and my wife are plus size. When we first got married, we were real skinny, right? But because of medical situations, I have a thyroid problem I got to deal with. And my weight fluctuates. Well, it's under control now, but I'd go from skinny to fat and I would just fluctuate. Okay. It just seems like when I retired out of the army, my body just took a dump, sort of say, right? But the biggest thing is to be healthy. Okay, being a little chubby is okay. That's not a problem. Okay, being plus size, I don't care, as long as you're in good health and happy, and you can be active and you can do things. Okay, a woman like this, guys, if I was dating back in the day and we were into each other, look, I could go for this. This ain't no problem at all. Okay, some men are real picky. Okay, and a lot of men I found that are real picky when it comes to this are men that got flaws going themselves. I've seen men with a beer gut talk about women and their weight. Well, dude, you're up there, you're plus size too. But for some reason, men can judge women and be plus size, sort of say. Okay. But this young lady is beautiful. I mean, and here's the thing. I think a lot of plus size women, because they're shamed, because people will go in on them because of their weight. A lot of plus size women are very how can I say this? They'll have insecurities, but there's a number of plus size women that will get into fashion and how they dress, and plus size women dress. A lot of plus size women I've noticed dress really nice, and they're very hygienic. Okay, they might be up in the weight a little bit, but when it comes to personal hygiene, a lot of plus size women got it together, and I think it's part of the shaming that goes into it, and they try to do the best with what they got. And you'll see plus size women sometimes that will lose weight and get in the health kick. Okay, and I wish I had more time. I wanted to show some pictures of Lizzo, right? Lizzo, she's very plus size, right? And she would celebrate it. But now, because of health reasons, she started working on losing weight. And I've seen previous pictures where she looks really good, lost weight. And the thing of it is, it's not so much how you look, it's about health. Okay? And if I'm dating a plus size woman, if I'm in a relationship, I want her to be healthy. Okay? I'm not going to shame her because she's plus size. But I might encourage her to be healthy. And look, and me and my wife were both plus size, okay? And we watch what we eat, and we've changed our diet, like drastically, right? Because we know. I mean, my wife don't care if I'm a little chubby and got a belly. She don't care. She loves me, right? And I love my wife. I don't care if she's gets a little chunky. She's still my baby, and I love her. Okay? But it's not about that. It's about health. Okay? And being a little curvy is okay. Nothing wrong with that. Don't be ashamed. Look, a curvy woman, because a woman's curvy don't mean she's fat. Okay? That just the bone structure, the body shape, it's genetic. Okay? And a lot of people find curvy women very beautiful. I know I do. Okay? But if you're plus size, you can interracially date. You can interracially marry, okay? And some people are plus size because of their body structure, because of, it's not just because somebody is up in weight, don't mean they're going in the back room and eating cupcakes and a bunch of junk food and getting fat. Some people have weight issues due to medical reasons, okay? Me and my wife, we have issues with our thyroid. My wife has had her thyroid taken out, okay? I have a problem with my thyroid. I went from losing a bunch of weight to gaining a bunch of weight, okay? And that's a little something extra you have to fight with. Like with me, when I'm trying to keep my weight down, it takes more than me just eating right. It takes more than me doing smaller portions. I got to get my thyroid in control. Okay, because I can gain weight even eating right, right? And the doctor's got to, when they do my medication, and that's one thing my body hasn't been able to adjust for some reason, is my thyroid. They increase my medication and sometimes they decrease it. It has been a back and forth thing. My time in the Army, I never had a weight problem. I was always skinny. But when I retired and I had my brain tumor, look, everything went out of whack. Okay? And I'm not here to talk about me. But what I'm saying is, okay, if someone's plus size, do you know the reason why they're plus size? And is that okay? This young lady here, I see no problem. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Is that too much, guys? Is she too heavy? I mean, she is plus size. The doctor will probably say, you can lose a few pounds. A lot of us have been told that. But she's an attractive woman. I mean, seriously. And can she interracially date? Absolutely. Okay? Let me show you this video here of this young lady. Okay. Now, would you date her if she had a good personality and she loved you and she's all into you and, and what embrace the relationship you had, right? Would you be into her? Or is that just too much? I mean, and a lot of times, sometimes, you get in different habits. You change your food. You change what you eat. Eat less fried foods, more baked foods, more healthy. You can lose a few pounds. Okay? And there are men that would turn this young lady down because, she's too big. But she lose a few pounds. There would be men that would just go nuts over her. Okay? For me, I'm not all into that. And here's my thing. The biggest thing I wanted when I got my head straight before I married my wife is I wanted a wife that loved me, that was into me, and thought I was everything. And I would feel the same way about her, right? And I found that in my wife. Okay? And that is the biggest thing. Believe it or not, there are some men out there that don't just focus on how you look, that don't just focus on the physical. There are some men out there that want a relationship with a woman that has character, a woman that has a big heart, a woman that has a lot of love. Okay? And that was always my thing. And that meant more to me than how a woman looked. Okay? I mean, looks is part of it. We got to be attracted to who we're with, right? But if I have a wife that loves me, that's into me like no other, can she be a little plus size? Of course. Because the most important thing is a relationship. Having a woman of character. You know? And the thing of it is when it comes to plus size, for me, it'd be more about health, more about doing stuff together. A woman that looks like that can do, do stuff with me, that we can have a relationship and go places, and, she's not struggling to walk around. Hey, I'm okay with it. Okay? Some men are more picky. Okay? And that's just people. Okay? But I see a lot of plus size black women interracially dating with white men, with Hispanic, and Asian. Okay? And my thing is plus size is okay with me. But my thing is I want you to be healthy. Okay? Me and my wife, we right now we're older, right? We're in our mid-50s. Our metabolism took a complete stop, right? But we stay on each other because we want each other to be healthy. Both me and my wife could lose a few pounds, right? I'm being honest. Okay? But we love each other, not to bash each other, okay? But for us to be healthy, so we live longer. So, we live a more quality life, okay? And I'm telling you, I've been on a struggle for a number of years, okay? And I made good progress, but it's a one day at a time type thing. Same thing with my wife, okay? But we love each other. And plus size is okay. But my biggest thing is I want my wife to be healthy and happy. And that's what she wants from me. Okay? And that's what it is. Look, I'm not going to attack plus size women because, hey, I could lose a few pounds myself. But this young lady, she's very beautiful, very desirable. I don't see the problem. Okay? Let me show this video real quick.
You keep keeping on, baby. You keep keeping those nails done. You keep them feet manicured.
What am I doing?
Honey,
sorry,
pedicure.
Guys. Okay.
Adorning yourself with.
Okay. Sorry, this new YouTube thing is messing me up. Okay, this woman is going to speak on plus size women. And listen, this is uplifting, but this is good advice, and it's true. Let's listen to her.
This is for all my plus size sisters. You keep keeping on, baby. You keep keeping those nails done. You keep them feet manicured, honey, pedicured. You keep adorning yourself with your hair and your makeup while you continue to work on your body. No, I'm not telling you to lose weight to be skinny. I'm not telling you to lose weight because society thinks you're unattractive. I just want you to take care of your body for your health. But in the process of getting your body in shape, you keep making yourself beautiful, honey. Some of the most well-kept women are full-figured sisters. You know why? Because we realize early on that we are judged so harshly. So if you want to see a sister that look good and smell good, and brothers know this, get you a plus size sister. Not only is that bitch gonna make sure that she can cook and clean, but her hands, her nails are gonna always be done. Her feet are gonna be impeccable. Her makeup will be laid to the gods, honey. See, at my heaviest weight back in 2006, I was 318 pounds. You understand? And so I know how it is to be judged by how you look. And so I learned early on that my hair must always be right, my makeup, my hands, my feet, my jewelry, because people judge heavier black women harder than anybody else. Even black men judge us harder. But the funny thing is, they love us too. But because of societal pressure, sometimes some brothers cave in and just don't celebrate us. But it's okay. It's okay, baby. So I just want to encourage some of you sisters today. I'm not telling you not to try to work out and get healthy, because being healthy is important.
Okay, let me stop here. Okay, she's talking about the brothers. Hey, young lady. There's more than the brothers. How about opening up your options? How about thinking about white men, Hispanic men, Asian men? Hey, the field's wide open. It ain't just black men for black women. How about other groups of men? How about that? We'll embrace you too. Okay? Hey, look, we're in 2025, we can date and marry whoever we want to, right? Hey, share the wealth. The brothers are getting with Becky. Hey, some of the black women come over to our side. Okay, let's let's share the wealth, right? Open up your options. Okay. But you know what she said, and this is true about a lot of plus size women, especially black women. I found out that a lot of plus size black women dress really nice, have their hair done. She said her nails done, right? Wearing a beautiful outfit, really dressing nice, really going in, right? And I think it's probably there's some psychological stuff going on, because she's going to get shamed because she's plus size. But and and I'm not about shaming nobody, but when it comes to your weight, you got to think about health. Okay, to hell with what people think. Okay, the bigger you are, the more pressure that's on your heart, and the more pressure on your heart and the insides of your body, right? The higher your blood pressure is. Okay. And look, there are some plus size people that are actually healthy, that have low cholesterol, and some people are just big people. Okay. But the thing of it is it's about health. It's about, living your best life. But I've noticed, especially with black women, plus size black women, they smell good, they dress nice, they're really, and that can really compensate for a lot of it. And if you're okay with the woman being plus size, I've seen amazingly beautiful black women that are a little bit plus size, but they smell good, they dress nice, they're beautiful, and it's like, oh man. And I'm just saying. But what she said is true. Okay? And look, you can date and marry anybody you want in any race. Okay? They say there's somebody for everybody, right? There is. but there's somebody for everybody in every race. Whatever or every ethnicity. I hate saying race because we're the human race. I hate. I know it's, and society and how we look at people. Oh, you're this race, that race. No, we're the human race. We're people. But different groups of people. Oh, I lost my thought. But what I'm saying is, we're human beings, right? And look, I find plus size women attractive. I do. I think they're very beautiful. I think they're, and you know what? I've dated plus size women, and I was okay as long as we had a connection. My whole thing is the most attractive thing I found on black women, and you're going to be amazed on this, okay? You might not even believe me, right? The most attractive thing about a black woman, it is not how she looks. It's not her body shape, okay? It's not her hair. I mean, all those things are beautiful, right? The most attractive thing about a black woman is her heart, is her love. The black woman's emotions and her character is the most beautiful thing she has. And let me tell you, and I've had discussions about this so many times. And people, and I express the love I have for my wife, Sandy. I express the love I have for black women. And I tell you how black women have blessed me in my life, from a child to a teenager to a man, right? For some reason, it seems when I'm down and things ain't going right, for some reason there's a black woman there showing me love. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's just coincidence. But black women have a big heart. And if you show black women love, they're going to return that. Okay? You find a black woman that loves you, you'll be set for life. Okay? But anyway, I was having a discussion at work, and this ain't the first time I had this type of discussion. Okay? And people I work with support me, they like me, and they'll watch my channel. And some like it and agree with it, and some do not. Okay? And that's okay. But I had a discussion. This woman I work with, right? That is my friend. Okay? And she is a white woman. And she asked me, she says, look, and she knows my wife, Sandy, and, she says, look, I know you got an awesome wife. You're blessed, and you got something a lot of people don't have. Someone that loves you, a long-lasting marriage. You got a good family. Everything's, worked out for you. But she asked me, she says, I watch your videos and you say that nobody can love you like a black woman does. Okay? And she says, are you saying no other woman can love you except a black woman? Okay? And that's a good question, right? And here's my answer to that. Look, all women are beautiful. All women are amazing. Okay? Look, I see beauty in all groups of women. Don't get me wrong. And any group of women can love me. Okay? I believe there's white women, Asian women, Hispanic women, and I believe I can find a woman in any group of women that will love me like no tomorrow. Okay? But here's the key. It's not how much the woman loves me. It's how much the woman brings out the love I have inside of me. Okay? And here's the thing. And look, and I look, and this is the truth. And I've seen it in real time in my life. Maybe this don't apply to other men, but for me, there is nobody that has shown me love more than a black woman. And I didn't grow up in a black neighborhood at all. I wasn't around a lot of black people, okay? But the women that showed me the most love, the women that had the most impact, was black women, okay? And look, there are other groups of women that have loved me in my life. But no other group of women can bring out the love I have inside of me like a black woman can. I'm telling you. Yes, I can find a woman of another group that will love me. Sure. But will I find another woman in a different group that will bring out the best in me like the black woman has? I don't think so. And there's something about a black woman that brings out the best in you. And here's my thing. I have always loved black women since the time I was 4 years old. And even beyond that, according to what my mom tells me, you know. But here's the thing. The black woman has altered my path in life and influenced me so much just based on love. And when I talk about this, when I explain this, people think I'm crazy. People think I'm out of my mind. People always thought there was something wrong with me. Why do you like black women so much? What about other women? There's other women out there. What are you doing? Fast forward 30 years later and answer that question. Okay? But here's the thing, and here's the thing why my marriage is successful and why my life I have been blessed. Number one, I loved the right way. Okay? I was in love with the black woman before I could desire the black woman, before I could notice the black woman's body, and before I can even notice the physical attraction. Okay? I was in love with the black woman as a child. Okay? And as I grew up, did that love go away? No, it didn't. It grew stronger. Now, when you put it all together and you have that emotional connection, okay? And when you're a child, and I believe this to be true, I think if black women would just, look, if you want to get white men to, I know this is going to sound crazy, right? If you get white men, if you want more white men to love black women, I would say you get with a little white boy, if you're a black woman, and show him love and have that connection. Later on, he'll grow up and marry a black woman. I think that's true. No, but in all seriousness, okay, there was a connection. There was love. There was a emotional connection with a black woman when I was a child, 4 and 5, right? I felt that. Was I looking at her body? Was I looking at her butt? No, I wasn't. I was a child. Okay? So there wasn't no lustful thing. And a lot of times white men are accused of being fetishizers and it's all about lust, and it's not that at all. There's some white men that are like that, sure. But a lot of us just love black women. And a lot of us, and if I wish they would do a study on this, the white men that are with black women and the ones that specifically only date and marry black women. I wish they'd do a study on that, because I believe that it starts out very early when you're a child. There's a connection. There's emotional connection. There's a spiritual connection. There's something happening. Okay? And it can just be a woman showing you love because you're a child. And that can grow into a future relationship, a future marriage. Okay? And I know I'm getting off the rails. I'm going way off. Okay? We're supposed to be talking about plus-size black women interracially dating. Okay? But here's the thing. When it comes to black women with me, and when you truly love a black woman, listen to me, okay? Because I've only dated black women exclusively. I'm married to a black woman, okay? When it comes to relationships, and when it comes, it's always been black women for me, okay? People have told me I'm wrong. People have told me something's wrong with me. And there were times in my life I thought there was something wrong because it's out of the norm. Okay. But now I've grown to realize nothing is wrong with me. That's just a preference. That's who I love. That's who I have a connection with. Okay. And it started off early. And if we ever did a study, I think the most successful marriages come from a white man that has loved black women before they started dating. Okay? Because your heart, your soul is into it. And when it comes to dating and marriage, I prayed for a black wife. I did. Before I started dating, I prayed to God. I said, God, please. God, please. Okay. And people say, Roadrunner, you shouldn't do that. You should have just prayed for a good wife. And whatever color, just be happy with it. Okay. That sounds like, okay, equal opportunity. That sounds great. Okay. But when it comes to love, marriage, they ain't no equal opportunity about it. When it comes to a preference, they're not. We're biased on that. Okay. But I love black women so much. Okay. I would take an everyday black woman, average at best, over a supermodel, white woman, Hispanic woman, Asian woman, any other group. I will take the average black woman over the best of every other group of women. Okay? Because with a black woman, I know what I'm getting. I know I'm going to get true love. I know I'm going to get loyalty. I know I'm going to get commitment. I know I'm going to get somebody that loves me for who I am. Okay? I'm very confident in that. Because for me, looks is important, right? But that's secondary. When it comes to character, when it comes to love, when it comes to someone that's going to be there for you, that's going to love you for who you are. and give everything to you so you can give everything to them. And maybe me, and I think my so-called craziness, my so-called, abnormal thought process, my choice in life. See, I didn't live in my environment. I didn't date the women in my neighborhood necessarily, because I was so in love with black women. Okay, and it wasn't a fetish. It wasn't a lustful thing going on. I felt more comfortable. I felt love. I felt the connection. I always felt more comfortable with black women. Okay, and she could be skinny, plus size. Look, the love I'm receiving from a black woman, it don't matter if she's plus size, skinny size, medium size, as long as we got that connection and we got true love. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, in our world we live today, when marriage is not important anymore, and we're living in a life where we date instead of taking that commitment and giving everything to the one we love, in a world where we have children out of wedlock and the family structure is going to hell in a handbasket. With all that mess, I think it's critical for all of us to open up our options. And I've always encouraged black women to open up their options, because I know that black women outnumber black men by over 2 million. Okay? And I know black women get the short end of the stick when it comes to love and marriage. So I always encourage black women, look, if you can't find that good black man that you've been dreaming of, maybe you need to open up your options. Maybe he ain't coming. Okay? And I hate to say that, but the truth is the truth. It is what it is. And speaking to white men, look, in our community, our divorce rates are skyrocketing. Maybe it's time for white men to open up our options. Maybe it's time for us white men to explore different groups of women. Maybe for us white men, we need to open up our options. And if you go for my advice, it's the black woman. That's the best option. And it ain't just me saying it. I'm not saying it's the best option because that's the option I chose. It's the best option because statistically, white men will be in a longer lasting marriage with a black woman than any other group of women on the planet. And I've looked at the numbers. And what's crazy is when it comes to black women and white men, our marriage rates goes up when we get out of our community and we open up our options. Did you know the black women, white men are the biggest group that's taken for granted, the biggest group that is expected to perform, the biggest group that is blamed is black women, white men? Think about it. When anything goes wrong in society, it's the white man's fault, right? I mean, everything's our fault. We're so used to it, But look at the black community. Black women are blamed for everything. They're blamed for the low marriage rates. They're blamed for the out of wedlock birth rates. Black women are blamed for the black community. I mean, black women are constantly being told they need to do better. They need to constantly improve. And white men, we're in the same boat. We're being blamed for everything. And we're being told everything is our fault. And we're taken for granted. And I would say to black women, you want to know how good Becky has it? Come on over. Date a white man. Find a white man that loves you and you'll understand it completely. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Now, you don't have to agree with me, but I'm just saying, for me, the black woman is the best option. Okay? And I'm telling you, look, I've only been married once. Okay? And I chose to marry the black woman. When people said, don't do that, our cultures are too different, it won't work. Those interracial things don't work. You know, your kids are going to have trouble. Everything, you know, you know, she ain't going to stick around with you because it's going to be too hard for her. And you know what? I'm still married. I'm the crazy one, right? I was the one crazy about black women when I wasn't supposed to do that. But somehow I got a successful marriage and other people don't. I've only been married once, guys. My wife's only been married once. We've been married 31 years. May will be 32 years. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to choose the black woman because that's what worked for me. But look at the numbers. If you're young and you want a relationship and you're into having somebody that loves you, maybe you need to get to know the black woman. Maybe you need to open up your options and get to know other groups of women too. And I'm not saying white men run from the white woman. Some need to, though. I'm just saying, but I'm not trying to split up the white community to date out, okay? But I think more white men need to invest in the black woman. I think more non-black men need to get to know the black woman. I'm just saying. But go for what works for you. Okay, I'm not, you know, if you find an Asian woman that loves you like no other, hey, God bless you, you be with her. If you find that Hispanic woman that just, you know, that you found a blessing in her, be with her. If you're a white guy and you found a white woman that's the right fit, be with her. Okay. I'm not saying, and I don't want it to sound like one group, one person is better than the next person. No. But there are people that make better decisions. There are people that have more character than others. Okay. And black women are a good option. Number one, because black women have a big heart. Black women are very loyal. Okay. And if you find a black woman that loves you, you're blessed. Okay. But think about what black women have been through. Okay. Black women have been trying to hold down the community for years. Black women have been waiting for that good black man to come through. Okay. And a lot of them didn't find that. But black women have still fought on. They've still been loving and loyal and holding out on hope. And they refer to black women as being a strong black woman. Okay. Now, black women are strong, and black women are very resilient. Okay. But black women should not have to be tough. Black women should not have to hold it down. Black women should not wait for a man. Black women should not do anything that's going to harm them. Black women should do what's best for her and put herself first. Because the amazing thing about black women, and it's a blessing and curse, is they'll put their man above themselves. They'll give the man they love everything and do without. Now, if she finds a good man, he'll give it back to her and he'll love her with all his heart. But many times black women don't find that good man. But anyway, I could go on and on all about this. Okay? But if you're a plus size black woman, love yourself, okay? There's a man out there that will love you. Okay? You can open up your options. You can date interracially. I've seen plus size black women all over the place interracially date. Okay? And here's the thing. Okay? I'm okay with people being plus size. That don't bother me at all. I can have a loving relationship with somebody that's plus size. Okay? But my biggest thing is a person's health. At the end of the day, we got to protect our health. Okay? It's curvy is beautiful. Okay, plus size is wonderful. But don't let it go too far. You know what I mean? I don't want to see any woman be bedridden because they're so big they can't get out of bed. Being a little chunky, oh, who cares? I've got that. I got me a little belly, and oh well. I love myself. I love my wife. She loves me, but we do strive to be healthy too. Okay, we're watching our weight. I have been for a few years, and it's been a struggle. And I'm telling you, but it's for health reasons. So I can be on this earth longer, to spend time with my wife and children and grandchildren. Okay? They're going to love me whether I'm fat or skinny or who cares. But I do want to be around, right? Okay? And look, because you're plus size don't mean you're unhealthy, okay? Now, if you're getting so big you have trouble walking around, that's a different thing, okay? And I'm not here to shame nobody, okay? I just want black women to know that they can open up their options. Just because you're plus size don't mean you're stuck with a black man, okay? I know there's black men that love plus size women, okay? I get it. But there's white men that love that too. There's Hispanic men that love that too, okay? Do not be afraid to open up your options. But in the meantime, take care of yourself. You see how that woman dressed? She's plus size, but very attractive. Huh? Look, I'm a fat guy, but I throw on a suit. They don't notice how big I am, right? I'm just saying. I'm not that fat, but I identify with. But I could lose a few pounds. I'm gonna be honest. So I'm not going cast no stone on nobody that's plus size. Okay? Because I'm that too. I could lose 20 pounds. I really could. Okay? That's my target right now. To where I take off 20 pounds, I'll be right at the body weight I'm supposed to be at. Okay, I'm not that bad, but yeah, I could lose some weight. And that's okay. You know? But look, and get out of this mindset, okay? The crazy thing is that people will shame you for everything. Okay? You're not going to be everybody's preference. Okay? All right? Your plus sizes, there's guys that, that's a no-go. Even with chubby dudes, they don't want a chubby woman, right? I mean, some people are hypocrites, right? They think it's okay for them to be big, but the woman can't be, right? And I'm sure that goes the other way. Okay, but look, love yourself. The biggest thing is love who you are. Okay? And if you want to lose a few pounds, hey, work on it. You can do it. Okay? But do it for you. Do it for your health. Don't do it for a man or a woman. Do it for you. Okay? You can be in a relationship. Okay? You can be plus size, but you might end up with a plus size partner, plus size wife or husband. Okay? And maybe you guys could work on your health together. You know? But I'm not going to shame nobody. I got my flaws. But I look, people, the crazy thing is online, people see me, right? I come on the camera. They look at me, and the people that hate me, they try to look for every flaw I have, right? A lot of people talk about my teeth, that gap, right? Okay, I was born that way. All my children have the same gap I do. Okay, whoa. It's a genetic trait. My father had it. I got it. Okay? Some people find it ugly. Some don't. Oh, well. And maybe I'm not somebody's preference because of that. Okay, so what? Okay? There a lot of women want a guy that's over 6 feet tall, right? That's a preference for a lot of women. Well, guess what? Do you know how big Roadrunner is? I'm not no 6 foot. No way. All the men in my family are except me. Oh, well. That's life. But you know what? A lot of women, I wouldn't be their preference because of how tall I am. Okay? But I still love myself. I'm still a good person. And there's somebody that will love me, right? Just like if I was plus size. Okay, there might be some that don't like, but there's somebody that will love me. Okay? And speaking of being 6 foot and taller, women want that, right? Well, Roadrunner, you know how tall I am? I'm 5'8" 3/4. But I identify with 5'9". Okay, and I could get away with it because it's I almost made 5'9". Almost. Okay, and there's some guys that are my size or shorter that have a big complex. It bothers them. It don't bother me at all. You know, okay. I'm not, the women that look for 6 foot tall dudes, I'm not in that preference. Oh, well. But there's somebody out there that loves me for who I am. My wife, Sandy, loves me for my size and who I am. So, okay. My point is love yourself enough to open up your options. Love yourself enough to try. Okay? We all have our flaws. Some of us are big and fat. Oh my God, I got a belly. What am I going to do? Cancel life? If I don't like it, I'll work on getting rid of it. Okay, we all have our flaws. Not all of us look like Brad Pitt in his prime, right? Most of us don't. Most of us are average at best, and we embrace that average at best. Okay, but love who you are. Okay, before you can find someone that you love, you got to love yourself first. Okay. Yeah, I'm 5'8 3/4. I almost look. I'm going to identify with 5'9". Okay, that's what I identify with. Okay, I'm 5'9". Damn it. Okay. Maybe I could do a surgery and put a extra skin on the bottom of my heel so I can make 5'9". But my point is look, love who you are, okay? There's somebody for everybody in all races. You want to open up your options, you do it. Okay? There's somebody that will love you, okay? And look, I find a lot of plus size black women very attractive. There's something about black women that I don't know, just how they carry themselves, how they dress, their personality. Look, 5'10" guys get a lot of attention, and they do. I didn't. Okay, well, hey, I'm 5'9". I'm almost there. Well, I identify with 5'9". Will you guys accept me at 5'9"? Can I be that? Look, I know reality, I'm not 5'9". I'm 5'8 3/4. Okay, but I'm almost there, almost. But they say almost don't count, right? Unless you're dealing with horseshoes and hand grenades. Right? But my point is look. You know what? We are who we are, and we can't control that. Okay? We can't control how tall we are. We can't control how good looking or non good looking we are. Okay? I'm not a very good looking guy, but I identify as a good looking guy. I love that identify as. Just like I'm not a millionaire. Can I identify as being a millionaire? Okay. I'm just going to identify with what I want to be, and what I want to have. Oh, you like Tampa Bay Lightning? Yeah, this is a jersey I bought when Tampa Bay Lightning won the Stanley Cup. It's got the Stanley Cup thing on it. Yeah. You like Tampa Bay Lightning? Oh, or just your favorite sport? I love hockey. Guys, oh my God, hockey is beautiful. Look, I've went and seen the Lakers play. I've went and seen the Dallas Cowboys play. I've seen the Dodgers play, but nothing beats hockey. I don't care what you say. Hockey is the greatest sport ever. Okay? And I know people are going to disagree, but go to a hockey game. Feel the intensity. And if you see a fight, oh my God, it makes it more beautiful. I mean, hockey is just, there's something about it. I love hockey. Oh my God. And in my state, we got a minor league hockey team coming. I'm going to get tickets to that. I might even, well, if I lived in town, I'd buy season tickets, but I live too far away. Did you play hockey in high school? We didn't. When I went to high school, we didn't have hockey. I'm from New Mexico. We don't. I'm a big hockey fan, but it's not in my area so much. I know hockey's growing, and I know Colorado, they have hockey in high school and stuff, and that's pretty cool. But the high school I went to didn't have a hockey team. And that's a shame. That's horrible. I think I'd be a great hockey player. I could skate. I've never played hockey as a sport, but I love watching it. I got the intensity, and I could get in a fight. I got that fighting spirit, but I don't think I'd be that good playing it, but I sure love it. Oh my God, I love hockey. I tell you what, if anybody offered me tickets to any sport, I'd pick hockey hands down every time. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, God, I just drift away, don't I? Somebody tell me stay on topic. Damn it, Roadrunner, stay on topic. We're not the show ain't about hockey. Anyway, no, but my point is look, plus size women, you're beautiful. Be yourself, okay? And if you're okay how you look, find a guy that's okay with it, okay? A lot of guys, believe it or not, if we're in a good relationship, that plus size thing, it ain't even a thing. We don't even focus on it, okay? If you're with a good man, okay? The only time we focus on it is when it comes to be a health issue, okay? And look, I'm plus size, and I'm working on my health, okay? Both me and my wife were plus size. We weren't that when we got married, but, time takes its toll, okay? But we're working on it now, and it's okay, all right? As long as you're striving to improve and you improve. This is what it's all about. I like how you switch it up. Life is like that. Yeah, life happens, guys. Look, we got to make the best of what we got, okay? And do the best we can. And don't worry about what people think. Okay? You find somebody that truly loves you, okay? They're going to accept you for who you are. My wife accepts me for who I am. Even though I'm 5'8" and 3/4, she said, you know what? I still love you, even though you're a short bastard. But I said, okay. No, she didn't say that. No, but what I'm saying is, love yourself who you are. I'm 5'7" and 3/4 because God said, you know what? You're going to be 5'8" and 3/4. And that's okay. When I was little, I had a complex about it. Look, and the reason I'm short is because my mother, I blame her. She's 5 foot tall, even 5 foot. She's real short, right? No, I don't blame her. It's all good. I embrace who I am. Okay. Men in my family are like 6 foot. I'm 5'8" and 3/4. But you know what? I got a good light. I got a good wife. I got a good family. I got kids and grandkids that love me. I got it made. So I don't have to identify with that 5'9", do I? But I'm still going to. But my thing is, if you're plus size, if you're short, tall, small, whatever, okay? Embrace who you are. You're who you are for a reason, okay? Some guys have a complex because they're not that tall. And there's some women that are very tall and they have a complex because they don't want to be that tall. No, you're meant to be who you are. Some women are very skinny and they have a complex because they don't have that many curves. But then again, there's women that are very curvy that want to be skinny. And there's skinny women that want to be curvy. And there's, people want to be this and that. Just be you. Embrace you. Make the best part of you. Take what you got and improve it. Do you know what I mean? I played baseball, volleyball in elementary and high school. Oh, okay. Go check it. Okay. My thing is, people ask me to talk about plus size women interracially dating. Here's my thing. Okay. Plus size women interracially date all the time. Okay. Don't get caught up in that perception that white men only want skinny women and we won't date nobody. That's a lie. Okay. And when you open up your options and you're around the people you want to date, ladies, and they know you're there, okay, you'll find out that there are men that will accept you whether you're plus size, whether you're short, tall, skinny, curvy. Okay, there's somebody that will love you. Don't be afraid to open up your options. Okay? Too many people waste time psyching themselves out on an interracial relationship that they won't even try. They're too afraid of risking rejection, which don't make sense because if you don't try, you're rejecting yourself. At least if you give it a shot, at least you know. At least you have the courage to at least try. Huh, guys? Some of you goofy white dudes that just stare and don't do nothing. Stare at the black woman. You think she's beautiful. I'm just going to stare. Oh my God. Don't. Hope she didn't catch me looking. You know the white men that date black women are the white men that approach black women. Think about that. Think about it. Okay? The ones that don't date black women, well, it's not, and I would say it's not that they're being rejected. It's just that they don't have the courage to approach a black woman. That's the only thing holding you back. And black women that want to open up your options. I'm not saying go up and approach a white man or non-black man, but you need to be where they're at. You got to be strategic. I mean, you got to have a plan somewhere, guys. Okay? The most success I've had dating black women is when I pulled my head out of my, you know what, and got up the courage to go up and talk, say something, let her know you're interested. That's when I was able to have success. Now, will you get rejected? Oh, hell yeah, you will. But that's life. But when you're accepted, it makes it all worth it. And look, black women are women. White men, you love black women, they're women. There's no secret sauce dating a black woman. If she likes you, she's into you, it's a go. If she's not, it's a no-go. People are people. I don't know why black women and white men think that there's some secret sauce formula to date each other. No, it's just like date. Look, I and it blows my mind. I mean, you got to try. You got to do it. Just do it. Just do it. Oh, but I'm plus size. Just do it. I'm only 5'8" 3/4. Just do it. Oh my God, I'm average looking. Just do it. Just do it. I mean, seriously. I mean, a black woman's either going like you or she's not. She's either going to think you're attractive or think you're ugly. Okay? I mean, there's black women that thought I was ugly, but I identify as good looking, so that cancels that out. Okay? Because I can identify with what I want to be. So, no, just joking. But seriously, okay? I love this identity thing. I could be, I'm an average guy, but I identify as being a superhero. So that's who I am. But anyway, guys, my thing is look, the ones that asked me to do this show, I appreciate it, and I'll do it. But the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, is be you, love you, okay? And if you want to improve, you got to put in the work. But don't hate yourself because you're plus size or because you're short or because you got a gap in your teeth or because whatever, okay? There's always somebody that will find you beautiful and amazing, okay? People make fun of how I look. They always have my teeth, my whatever. But you know what? I got a wife that loves me. I got kids that love me. I got a family that loves me. Hey, nothing else matters. Okay? And the reason I was able to interracially date is because I had the courage to talk to a black woman. Sometimes she said no, I'm not interested. Every once in a while, yeah, she was into me. And that was beautiful. Okay? And look, that's life. You're going to be rejected whether you stay with your same race or interracially. But I tell you one thing, you find a black woman that loves you, she'll be with you till the bitter end. She'll be with you even when she knows you're no good. And that's a blessing and a curse that black women have. Their loyalty is very beautiful, but it can hurt them too. Okay? And if you're a good man and you find a black woman that loves you, you're set for life. But anyway, my thing is just be you. Okay? Look, I find plus size women attractive. Okay? There's skinny women that are attractive too. Look, just be you. Okay? We all have something somebody don't like about us. Okay? We look a certain way that people don't like. Oh well. They can move on and go somewhere else. Okay? But look, my wife loves me. The guy that's 5'8 3/4, but identifies as 5'9". She loves that about me. Okay. And I love that too. Okay. I'm 5'8 3/4 realistically, but my heart says I'm 5'9". But hey, oh well. I'm okay with it. I asked my wife, is it okay that I'm only 5'8 3/4"? She said, that's just fine. I like you the way you are. So hey, I'm good. I don't even have to identify as 5'9", you know? But what's that? The part of love is learning to love. I agree with that, yes. And it starts within. Love yourself. Okay? And be the best you can be. Believe it or not, there's somebody that will love you just the way you are. I found that out. I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not the best looking guy out there. I'm somewhere in the back end of middle, but that's okay. God provided me with a good wife regardless. Okay? But I learn to embrace who I am, love who I am, have some humility, but have some confidence about yourself too. Okay, you know, and that's the thing. And open up your options. Do it. Okay, don't be afraid to approach that black woman. Black women, don't be afraid to get in that friendship circle. Find that Brad you've been looking for. Okay? But be cautious. Okay? Believe it or not, us white guys aren't all fantasizers. Believe it or not, some of us just truly love black women and want to be married to a black woman. Is that okay? I only married one and I only been married once. But somehow I'm labeled as a fantasizer. How does that work? But Umar Johnson can pump and dump and talk about 5'5" thick in the thighs all day. But, I say I love black women and somehow that's wrong. Okay. But I guess he identifies as a good black man, so that covers it. As long as you identify with it, you're good. Anyway, no, just joking. But guys, my thing is love who you are. And black women, plus size black women, you're beautiful. Continue to dress nice and look beautiful. And look, curvy women are beautiful. Look, that's one thing about black women. And I don't want to, I hate talking about body shapes and stuff, but you're beautiful, okay? Embrace who you are, okay? That's the point I'm trying to make, okay? And look, and like that young lady said, there's some brothers that are into plus size women. I would say to her, look, don't just look at the brothers. Look at the other brothers. Look at the white brothers, the the Hispanic brothers, the Asian brothers. Okay? There's other men out there, ladies, black women. And in today's world, we need to, with marriage as scarce as it is, and we kind of lost our traditional ways. We kind of lost the marriage thing, And I want us to get it back. I want to see more married families. I want to conserve what we had. You know what we used to have? Love, marriage, spend your life with one woman. You know, find that special woman in your life, marry her, spend the rest of your life with her, have children. What happened to that? Where'd it go? I don't like this modern day thing where, just, situationships. I don't like that. I want marriage. I want the traditional way. I want a wife, a husband, children. I want to conserve what some of the things in the past we had. Okay, and don't confuse it. I don't want to bring back Jim Crow and that racist crap. No, I just want us to get back to marriage. I want us to get back to the family. I want us to get back to a society where we get married. We marry the woman we lay down with. We don't, I want to go to where we build strong families, where we love each other, where we love our nation, we build our country. Yeah, we got problems in our country, but we strive to make it better. I want us to come together as a nation. We got different colors of people, different groups. We need to come together as a nation, as one. That segregated crap never worked and it never will. There's no such thing as separate but equal. White supremacy sold you on that. Now black supremacy is trying to sell you on that same BS. Okay, stop it. We need to come together, love each other. We need to build families. Okay, we should not be sleeping with each other unless we're married. Married. How about conserving that traditional values? We've gotten so dang. I think you should have a live stream with the public offender because he says the same thing. I don't know who the public offender is. He says the same things? Okay. I'll have to look up who he is. I don't know. But we need to go back to our values, okay? Love, family, children. And in society, we need to be Americans. We don't need to be black and white and Hispanic and just be Americans. Stop that garbage. How about that? How about we love who we are, love our country, love the people in our country, and be able to open up our options if we decide to, or if not. What's that? No. Is that about public offender or what I'm saying? I don't know who that guy is. Anyway, guys, look. Just be you. Okay? Be strategic on what you want. Okay? Be strategic. Okay? You want to date a certain group, be there, ladies. I'm not saying, ladies, throw yourself at a man. Don't do that. But look, if there's a white guy you think you're interested in, and maybe, a smile, that could make sense. Oh, he is okay, public defender? Okay. I don't know who he is. I have to look him up. Be strategic. You know what I mean? You want to open up your options, be where those options are at. And ladies, sometimes a smile can go a long way. Sometimes just saying hi, sometimes just having a conversation will get a man's courage up enough to talk to you, to approach. Maybe ask you out for, a lunch date or something. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But I wish we could, we need to go back to the basics: love, marriage, family. I, because having children out of wedlock, we don't. Us as men, when we have children out of wedlock, we don't seem to take care of our children. And when I say me, I speak generally. I don't have no children out of wedlock, so I don't want people to think that. But I thank God I was raised traditionally. That when I grow up, I go find a wife, start my own family. Okay, that's what we should do. Not just, you go sow your royal oats for 30 years, and then maybe when you're about to kick the bucket, try to marry a young woman to take care of your dumb ass. I mean, that just seems like where it's going. Oh, is that right? Tiffany Haddish is now with a white man. Now I just seen the video about it, and Tiffany is not skinny. Yeah, that crap of white men only want skinny women is a bunch of BS. It's garbage. Okay, white men. Look, we're all different. We all got what we think is beautiful. Some men think skinny is beautiful. Some think plus size is beautiful. Some think, you know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to open up your options, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Wow, Tiffany Haddish, she opened up her options. Wow. Good job. Shout out to Tiffany Haddish. Okay. All right. But I know I kind of drifted tonight and talked about other things, but I talk about it because I think it's important. Yeah, I agree with that, Nikki. Yeah, I hope she's with a real Brad and not a powdered donut Dusty. Yeah, I'm gonna do a poll. What is the most dangerous Dusty out there? I would say probably a powdered donut Dusty is the most dangerous. I think because the powdered donut Dusty is conniving. He'll tell you what you want to hear, and he preys on women that that want to open up their options. But I hope she's with a good white guy. I hope that works out. I do. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, look, don't be afraid to open up your options. Don't be afraid to take that chance. Okay, but be careful. Have your standards. Oh, what is that? Tyrone's first, they are the original, followed by the powdered imposters. Right. That's kind of like a vanilla thug boy. A vanilla thug boy could be a white powdered donut Dusty. Powdered Dusty is bad. I think that's the most dangerous. I do. Because the powdered Dusty, the ones I've seen, they research black women, and they'll tell you what, they're good actors. but you got to be careful. You don't want to get one of those because Tyrone and men in the manosphere are the most dangerous. Okay. Now, maybe Tyrone's more dangerous than the powdered Dusty. The powdered donut Dusty is a lot of times a follower, you know, a white guy that wants to be black, you know, that speaks the lingo, you know, yeah. Even the powdered will usually have a couple morals left due to their culture. Yeah, I guess you're right. You know what's Yeah, you know what? What was I going to say? You know what I think the best combination of marriage is a traditional white man and a black woman that's looking for to have a family. I think, and I say that because I think traditional white men will love and embrace black women more than any other group of white men. Just for the fact of our culture, we've been trained to find a wife and build a family. And a lot of black women are looking for that traditional family. And believe it or not, a lot of black people have traditional conservative values where they want the old fashioned nuclear family, a man, a woman, and children, a marriage. I think a lot of black women really want that. And traditional white men like myself, we're raised to be husbands. We really are, and fathers. And when you're traditional, like my family is, we marry early. Okay, we don't waste time. We really don't. Look, well, my parents were married as teenagers, but I was a product of that. But but joking aside, in my family, we marry very early in our 20s, in our early 20s. Okay. I got married at 24. Okay. And I felt like a late bloomer. Okay. I had to work out some issues. I had to work out that dust guys, Roadrunner was dusty early in his days. And I'm not proud of that. But I learned quickly. I didn't spend time staying dusty. I got one of those Hoover vacuums, and I vacuumed out that dust and straightened up. But yeah, but my family, we married very early, and and a lot of times white community, they will marry a lot earlier than the black community. A lot of times white women will go to college and look for a husband, where black women a lot of times won't. And I think it's a cultural thing where a lot of times being single and dating, having a situationship, a lot of times in black community that's accepted, like it's normal. And I think black women, and it's crazy because we talk about we've been fed a lie that we're not supposed to interracially date, marry because we're so different. We've been taught that. We've been taught that it's wrong for people of different skin tones to get together and marry and have families. And even though in today's world you can marry whoever you want, a lot of people are still stuck in that segregated mindset where, we think that the only one that can love us is the one that looks like us. And that ain't true at all. And I'm telling you, nobody's loved me more than my wife, Sandy. Nobody. And like I said, early on, I've had that question. People try to check me on that. How can you say only a black woman can love you? And they don't understand they don't listen to me in the context. I never said another woman can't love me. I just, for me, the only one that brings the love out of me is the black woman. But that's not to say you can't have a good wife of another race. You can. I have nothing against no other group of women or men. I just, look, the best option for me is the black woman. And look, my life, my marriage validates everything I say. You can't check me on what I'm saying. My life proves what I'm saying is true. No, anyway, I don't want to get off into that. But guys, the thing of it is be you. Love who you are. Okay? And if you want to improve yourself, you improve you. Do it for you. Okay? Ladies, don't go, if you're plus size, don't go losing weight for a man. Okay? Because if you got to lose the weight to be good enough for him, later on in life, if you have maybe a thyroid issue and you gain a little weight, you might not be good enough for him. You got to have somebody that loves you no matter what. And there's a lot of guys my age or older than me that have left their wives and date younger women, or get hooked up with a younger woman and end up leaving their wife and family for a woman that don't even care about them. Okay? You got to watch these guys that are superficial. If you got to lose weight or do something or to make him happy, guess what? There'll be a time when you can't make him happy. And you don't want to get one of these guys that ends up getting in a midlife crisis that thinks he can go date younger women because he's got a little money. Look, it's sad. Where I work at, there's a lot of elderly men that got big money that are with younger women, and I'm like, I cringe because I'm like, wow. And 9 times out of 10, those women aren't into you. They're into what you can give them. But people want to live a fantasy. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm drifting in all kinds of different areas. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and close this soon. My thing is look, it don't matter if you're tall, short, okay, if you're plus size, skinny size, medium size, you can open up your options, okay? Us as white men, we're really not all that picky where you got to be a certain way. Okay, there's some that are like that, but most of us are everyday men. We just want a woman that loves us, and that's going to be there for us. And if she's plus size, it's okay. You know, a lot of us feel that way. You know, we know we're not perfect, so you know, I'm just saying, embrace who you are. You know, no worries. Just glad to be here. Glad you're here. Glad to see you too. But guys, look, I'm gonna close this. My whole thing is tonight, and what I want to do is I want people to feel good about who they are. Okay, love you. Okay, if you're a little heavy and you feel I could lose a few pounds, you do that. Okay, but do it for you. Don't do it for a man, ladies. Guys, don't do it for a woman. Do it for you. Do it because that's what you want. Okay? Do it for you. Love, have that self love first. Okay? And then find somebody that loves you for who you are. Okay? And once you find that, you'll be good to go. Okay? Once you find somebody that loves you for who you are, that's the thing. Thanks, Alex. I appreciate it. Guys, tomorrow I'm going to change my time for tomorrow's show. I know I had it. I'm going to move it up a couple hours earlier. Okay, after I get done with the show, I'm going to have it up there. Okay, I'm going to put the time in. I'm going to go 2 hours earlier tomorrow. Okay. Let me see what. Okay. Tomorrow's going to be a good show. I want you guys to come and see tomorrow's show. It's going to be very nice. Okay. It might be a little triggering, but not really. It's just okay. Tomorrow's show is going to be Bowling for Becky's Gone Wrong. Build Back a Better Swirl. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to talk about the Michigan coach that got caught cheating on his wife. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about Shannon Sharp. Okay, I'm going to talk about the woman that was cleaning her gun and accidentally shot her boyfriend. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Bowling for Becky's Gone Wrong. Okay, and those are the stories I'm going to cover. You guys heard about the Michigan coach. I'm going to go into that. That's going to be a good show. I got some videos in that I'm going to show you. And it's not a show what you think it's going to be. I'm not out to bash black women, or I'm not out to bash black men and white women. That ain't what the show's about. Okay. I just go and show when you don't take your swirl to investment and and when you do it in a lustful way, which white men were always blamed for the fetishization, but I think it goes the other way much more than it does our way. Okay, I want to talk about that Michigan coach. And look, I'm for interracial relationships, with black women, white men, and black men, white women. I support that too, okay? If you do it the right way, okay? You do it for love and marriage and not for an ego, not for a lustful encounter, okay? You do it because you love that person, Okay. And if you guys don't know what bowling for Becky's is, that's a term I came up with. And what that means is black men that seek to date white women in a massive group, okay, where they're looking for numbers, okay, they're looking for the experience. They're a black man that falls in love with a white woman and marries her. That's not bowling for Becky's. That's interracial dating. A guy that just wants to sleep with many different white women to boost his ego and make black women angry and try to get under white men's skin. That's bowling for Becky's. Okay. And I'm going to explain the difference. Okay. It's not going to be a roast show. It's going to be an educational show. Okay. So I'm going to move it to 2 hours, 2.5 hours earlier. So check the times on the live. Okay. And I'll post it too, the times. I'm going to do it tomorrow after I get off with the show. Hey, how'd you know? How'd you know? Oh my God. Sandy put it out there. Oh, babe. Oh, okay. Yeah, today. I was like, how did Alexander know that? Okay, thanks, babe. I was trying to keep it a secret. Yeah, today, this time back in 1969, on this date, I was brought into this world. Today is my birthday. Yeah. So my wife let the cat out of the bag. So yeah, it's my birthday today. So I'm 56. Oh my God. I'm almost 60. And this is my buddy Leo. Leo the lion. He looks like a lion, kind of. He's a Pomeranian. This is my daughter's dog. I don't know. You guys probably seen Leo on my other shows. He likes doing live shows with me. Say hi, Leo. Hi. All right. Anyway. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't going to tell you it's my birthday, but my wife had to let it out. Yeah, man. I'm old. I was born in the 60s. Can you believe that? Oh my God. And I think I was born like at 8:05. So it's almost, yeah. Yeah, 8:05, I think, p.m. on the 20th, December 20th, 1969. Yeah. I was almost born in the 70s, but a few days before the year changed. Anyway, guys, it's good to see you guys. The Cure. Good to see you, young lady. Haven't seen you in a while. Okay. Anyway, guys, my whole thing is, look, if you're plus size, you can open up your options. Love you. Okay. I didn't know how to do this show really, because if you ask me, can a black woman that's plus size interracially date? Yeah. I've seen black women that are plus size do it all the time. There's not, but my thing is love who you are. Okay. And don't worry about what other people think. It's about you finding the one that loves you, that you love. That's what it's all about. But anyway, but guys, I hope you guys have a good night. I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Um, but join me tomorrow. Okay, I'm moving the time up 2.5 hours. Okay, so I'm gonna be going noon my time, so that'd be 2 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna have a show 2 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Okay, so we'll do that show, and I'll talk about that a pattern I'm seeing. The bowling for Becky's is getting crazy. And I'll talk about the Michigan coach, Shannon Sharp. We'll talk a little bit about that. The accidental shooting while having an argument, cleaning your gun, which never made sense to me, but okay. You guys have a Merry Christmas. Yeah, and a Happy New Year. Hope you guys can catch me tomorrow. If not, catch the replay. Okay, tomorrow's going to be a good show. I've been looking forward to it. And we're going to talk about it. And we'll have a good time. Okay. I want to thank you guys for being part of this show. I want to thank you guys. Hey, I want to say something before I go. Okay. And I want to thank you guys for standing by me. I know sometimes things get a little crazy. I know sometimes I'm kind of off. Okay. Sometimes I get a little upset. Sometimes there's things going on. Okay. And I just want you guys to know that I appreciate you. There's been times I thought about, okay, why am I doing this? And it's not you guys. It's just sometimes the hate I get, and sometimes I get death threats because people don't agree with my views and what I do. Okay, and that wears on you. And there was a time I was thinking, I'm just going to stop. Just live my happy life and not do no more YouTube and but what keeps me around and what really touched my heart is I try to be honest with you guys. I try to tell you my faith and how I believe, and sometimes that upsets people. And I don't want to do that at all. But on the other hand, I want to be honest with you. Okay, I don't want to hide nothing from you. I think if you're taking the time to listen to me, you should know. What I think, my faith, my beliefs. Okay. And I don't want to hide that because it's hiding part of me. But with all that going on, and every time, and through the years, I've had ups and downs on this channel. People getting in fights, people leaving, back and forth, beefs. And sometimes it takes its toll. And sometimes, when I come home and I work on doing a show or try and come up with an idea, sometimes I get I see in comment sections where I get hate. Sometimes even people email me and tell me how awful I am and stuff. And that takes a toll. But you know what else I get? Is I got emails, and a couple of people saying they love me and they thank you for what you do. One lady said, I don't agree with anything you do at all, but I love you anyway, and I got your back. And stuff like that means a lot to me. Okay, I don't do this for money. I really don't make a lot of money at this at all. Okay, I might get $30 or $40 a month if I'm lucky, and that's okay. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to encourage people to open up their options. I want to encourage black women, white men, black women, and non-black men to get to know each other, open up their options, and let them know there's there's another path they can choose. I want other white men and non-black men to know how beautiful and amazing black women are. And I want to share my life story with you guys. I want to be a blessing to you. And that's what it's all about. And when you guys show me love and you send me those emails encouraging me to keep going and showing me love, that means a lot. And at times I read some of those emails and I get emotional. I do. I just, but it's beautiful and amazing. And I thank you for that. And all my life, it just seems like anytime I've been down, anytime things weren't going right, for some reason, there's a black woman there to show me love and encouragement. I'm serious. And the low of the lows I've had in my life, there was a black woman there, and and I'm just amazed how loving and amazing black women are, and how much of an impact black women have had in my life. And if you know my life and what I've been through and the black women that's been in my life, you would understand why black women are my preference. You'd understand why I wanted to marry a black woman. You'd understand why I have love for black women. And there's people that feel the same way I do, but they won't say it. Maybe they're afraid. Maybe I don't know, but I want to tell the world the truth. I want to share my experience. I want the world to know the blessing I have. I want the world to know how amazing black women are. And I want the world to know how much of a amazing treasure black women are. I call black women the hidden treasure, and it's true. Black women are such an amazing, beautiful treasure, but a lot of us don't see that, even though we're around black women in our daily life. We walk past them, we go to work with them. They're in our neighborhoods, they're here and there. And we never get to know the black woman. When we're dating, when we're looking for a relationship, a lot of times we don't look the black woman's way because we've been separated, and we think that only the woman that looks like us could love us. And that ain't true. And I want to tell the truth. And I know it's going to piss off people. I know it's going to angry people. But the truth has got to be told. And in today's world where marriage and family values is going down the drain, there might come a time where we can't be selective and find white guy can't find that good white woman. The black woman can't find that good black man. We might just have to open up our options for survival to find somebody that loves us. I know that sounds crazy, but look at where we're going. What's that Not afraid, not scared, just cautious. That's good. No, you should be that way. Okay? You got to be cautious. Because there are good and bad in all groups. Okay? I talk about how amazing black women are, right? All the time. But there are some evil black women out there. There are. You know, most black women are amazing, beautiful women. And if you show them love and respect, and she loves you, oh my God, you've been blessed from God. But there are a few black women that are corrupt, just like every other group. You know, in black women, there are some corrupt white guys out there. That's why you gotta move with caution. Have your standards. Okay? Do not compromise your standards, ladies. Okay? Just saying. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this. Guys, catch my show tomorrow. I'll put the times up there as soon as I get off the show. Okay? I'm going to celebrate my birthday with my wife. She wasn't supposed to tell you it was my birthday, but she did. But anyway, you guys have a good night. God bless you and your families. And I just want to say a prayer before we dismiss, okay? Lord, thank you so much for allowing me to do this show tonight, Lord. And I thank you for everybody that's come up here, Lord. And I pray that I could be a blessing, Lord. And I'm thankful for the people you sent, Lord, that have been a blessing to me. And I pray that more of us have the courage to open up our options. I pray, Lord, that you give white men and non-black men the courage to approach black women and not be afraid or ashamed for who they love. And I pray for all people that want an interracial relationships, not to be afraid. Be cautious, but not afraid. Lord, and I pray you give us the courage to choose right, to hold up our standards, Lord, and be able to open up our options without fear, without shame, but with love and respect. Lord, I ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. Okay. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for being part of the show. I love you guys. Oh, thank you so much. I'm thankful to be here. You guys are a blessing. I don't take you guys for granted. I don't. And I pray I don't offend you guys. I pray I could be a blessing to you. I pray that, you know, I can, you know, be uplifting to you guys. You've been uplifting to me. You've been a blessing to me and my wife. And I thank you for that. And guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, I'll put the times up. Look at my community page in an hour or two, and then I'll put it on the live. I'll readjust the time for the show tomorrow. I'm going to make it a little bit earlier, okay? It'll be a good show. We'll have fun. And it's something we need to talk about, okay? But you guys have a good night. God bless you and your families. Have a good weekend. I hope you guys have a good Christmas and a happy New Year and all that good stuff. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay? I'll put up the times. Look for it in about an hour and a half. Okay? I'll probably put it up a lot earlier, but I don't want people sitting by waiting. It'll be up within an hour and a half. Okay. Anyway, have a good night. God bless. See you tomorrow.